Hello YouTube. In my mission to show people that compiling stuff from source isn't actually that hard, we're going to be doing a game, an old game which is a source port of the build engine. The build engine is basically it was used for a number of like old shooters, most famously Duke Nukem. I think there was Shadow Warrior. I think it was used in Blood. And I think there's one of the more modern boomer shooters is Iron Fury, and this engine was used to various degrees in those games. So we got so if you go to the main page for eduke32, what you'll have is a wiki page, and if we go to that wiki page, it has building from source eduke32 on Linux. Most Linux distros don't have a build for eduke32. It's most of the people, I guess, are playing this on Windows, but there is build instructions, and it does work quite well actually. So we go to that page. We come to here, and it's building eduke32 on Linux, and there's some compilation notes. You will need an actual copy of Duke Nukem 3D. We'll be getting that copy from the Duke Nukem repository here. If you put a Duke Nukem shareware into your search engine, this will come up. So what we'll do is, I've already downloaded this. I just haven't extracted it yet. So this is the zip that's downloaded. If I was to click on there, I found this was like really slow when I downloaded it the other day. So I just pre-downloaded it for interest of time. And if we go back to building from source, 3D accelerated drivers. This is a VM. There's no free. I think there's some basic 3D acceleration. This game will run on a very old machine, so it will probably be okay. And a MIDI device or playback for the soundtrack. I think sound works in the VM. I'm not too bothered. This does work perfectly fine on a regular Debian installation on real hardware. So the first thing we need to do is get the eduke32 source code. Now, you will need Git installed. I do have Git. I've installed it previously. So if we go to that, it says acquiring source code. And it is a Git clone. That's all you need to do. There we go. So that's cloned. And prerequisites of the build, and it will say eduke32 requires some development files installed before you can properly build. So basic dev environment GCC, GNU make. We've got that installed. I've installed those in previous videos. And SDL2 or SDL greater than 1.2, also supported with the SDL target equals 1. So there's some, we'll get into what that means in a minute. Optional packages. This is basically something that I think this is some sort of assembly code compiler. libgl is OpenGL, required for OpenGL renderers. libg2k, it has like a little GUI for setting it up. libg2k, libflac, that's required for music, lots of music packs, it says here. And libvpx required for intro videos and cutscenes in some user created modifications. So there's like people make mods and stuff for this game. It's very easy to mod. And we get distro specific installation. So on Debian Ubuntu, where we're using Debian, I'm just going to install all of these. So we got Build Essential and some of the bits and pieces that are listed here. So we've got the NAS ASM, the libgl, the libsdl2, FLAC, libflac, etc. So we've got all those dependencies in there. So we're just going to install those. if this was another Linux distro, all you need to do is find the equivalent packages on another Linux distro. So on here, they've got the full Fedora, and it's basically whatever the package is called in Fedora. It makes no difference whether this is Debian or Arch or SUSE. You just basically find out what the equivalent package is to whatever these instructions are if your distro isn't listed. So what we'll do is we'll install that. This installs a lot of dependencies, but whenever you're compiling dev stuff, you'll find there'll be lots of dependencies that you have to install. Otherwise, well, we don't have to install all of these, but I just want to do the simplest thing. So we've got all of those installed now, and we're just going to cd to eduke32. And I think make J4 work. Now, there are a load of build options. I won't go through all of these because most of these are sensible defaults, and you just basically, if you want to change them, you basically just specify them after the make command. I don't care about Clang. I don't care about any of this. So we do make J4, and I think that should, yeah, it makes it build a little bit quicker. I was doing it without the J flag when I did a practice run of this. And we just let it compile. Right, so that is compiled by the looks of it. Let's bring the step back down there. Now, I acquired the files from this site. So these are the shareware files. This was released, this shareware version was released when the game was released, which was, I think, 95, 96, something like that. Maybe 97. Well, probably not as late as 97. Unreal, I think, came out in 97, 98. So what we're going to do, I've already downloaded these, and if we go to the downloads, they're in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just unzip this first. Because what Duke Nukem wants is a file called eduke32.grp to be able to launch and run the game, and that is in here. And I'm going to show you how to actually find that. So it was a little bit confusing. So if we do CD downloads and we just unzip using the unzip command, or you could just do it through file with the archive manager if you wanted to. It gives you 4 files out, and there's a license.txt, install.exe, and there's file id.diz. Not sure what any that is. I know what the install.exe is and the license.txt is. This is the one we're interested in. This has the game files. Now, this is the installer meant for DOS. Obviously, we're not using DOS. However, this SHR file is just a zip directory. So if we do dnd3, it's not going to do it again. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. It won't auto-complete it. Not sure why. And it's going to replace the license.txt because it's going to unzip in the same folder. I don't really care about the license.txt. I'm not going to bother reading it. There is our eduke3d.grp. So we go back to here. We've compiled Duke Nukem. And if you look at the output here, it's created 2 files. The output, the compilation creates 2 files. So it's eduke32 and mapster32. So if we, in this directory, there isn't this file. Now I could copy it in there and it will work, However, I think you can, if you look at the command line options, there is a list of flags that the executable takes, and J adds direct. So the J flag adds a directory to eduke32 search list. So we just do J downloads, and the game should launch. Yeah. So there's no warnings in the output here, which is good. And what we're going to do is do start, and we should have Duke Nukem. That looks very good. And we've got all the MIDI glory.
Let's rock.
I'm not very good at Duke Nukem.
Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
I need to set up mouse support. You can see the game is working. So that is how to compile. So let's just exit first, because you probably won't be able to hear me with the music. These games are loud. That is how to compile eduke32 on source and run the game. And that's pretty much it. You can move the eduke32 in those files that were from the output. So if we just do, we got the maps of 32 and eduke32 binaries that were produced by the compilation. You can put those into a local bin directory, and then I think you can tell it where to auto load. I'm not going to get into the that because it's very specific to how eduke32 works, and you can go and read the wiki yourself if you're interested. What the purpose of these videos are is you can compile things from source on Debian or any other Linux distro by just using your brain and follow the instructions. So that's all I wanted to demonstrate, and I think that's it for this video. So hopefully see you in the next video, and bye bye for now.